is a windy, wet night in Landover, Maryland. And there's your matchup tonight here in Week 6. The Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders, led by Jayden Daniels, their outstanding second-year quarterback, and his counterpart tonight, Caleb Williams, the #1 overall pick last year. These are two Heisman Trophy winner quarterbacks going at it tonight in Landover.
3,100 meters range, 55 degrees, approaching the stadium.
We get set to go. It's already loud in here.
Oh, Lord.
They want to be in a dog fight. They got the right dog today.
At Chicago, pull up in the district. Ain't no looking away. You can't miss this. Bears, Commanders, the rock handlers, defense demanders, and touchdown landers. Turn up.
Swim over, man. He's going, baby.
Debo leads for the end zone.
Deep shot. He's got a touchdown. Unbelievable.
I can feel it coming
It's going to be a nice way to cap Week 6 around the National Football League here tonight. Good matchup as 2-2 meets 3-2. Welcome to the Progressive Monday Night Kickoff. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. That's the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. Lisa Salters and Laura Rutledge are right on deck. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears. They came into this season with their new head coach. He's not a new head coach anymore. They started the season 0-2. They got rolled at Detroit Week 2. However, they took care of the Dallas Cowboys. They survived and got a win at Las Vegas. To me, as they come off their bye week here tonight, they are a team where the arrow is definitely pointing up.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I think the questions coming into this season was what were they going to do offensively, and this is a much better offense from what we saw last season, and it's gotten better really each week. And you see Caleb Williams and the progress that he is making, most importantly within the pocket, and he's playing within the structure of what Ben Johnson wants him to do. Now, they're not running the football the way that you would expect a Ben Johnson coached offense to run the ball, but hopefully that will improve, but it's unlikely it's going to happen tonight. This Washington defense has been really good against the run, so probably a big part of their success offensively is going to be throwing the football for Caleb Williams.
Let's hear more about the Chicago Bears and Caleb in particular. We go down to the field. It's a performance above. It's brought to you by Jersey Mike's. Here's Laura Rutledge. Laura.
Well, thank you, Joe. And Caleb Williams talked about the fact that it's 4 games in with Ben Johnson. He's getting a lot more comfortable in this offense, as Troy was just mentioning. He said he's getting more used to operating it, figuring out how to make the play calls in the right way. And he's seen a lot of growth personally. Ben Johnson called that out as well, and also saying that this bye week has benefited this offense. They've had more time to work on things. Caleb told me expect a few more wrinkles. Also, more pre-snap shifts and motions. That's been a priority as well. And he said tonight is about embracing this moment. He's close to where he grew up. And he said when asked about the weather, the wet conditions, this is what I'm used to. I played so many games like this. It feels like home. He's excited for this opportunity tonight and said he knows, as Troy mentioned as well, he may have to shoulder a lot of the load against a really good Washington Commanders defense. He has a ton of respect for it, Joe.
Yeah, Laura, so maybe a little bit more razzle-dazzle tonight for the offense with Ben Johnson and, of course, Caleb Williams. Let's talk about the Washington Commanders, a team that defined ahead of schedule a year ago. They got all the way to the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback. He was hurt. He missed 2 weeks. Talking about Jaden Daniels, he's back. He was really good last week. Can't wait to watch him play here tonight.
Nah, he's already a superstar in this league, and he dealt with the injury, missed those 2 games, coming off a big game on the road against the Los Angeles Chargers, and he does not look like he's inhibited in any way as far as his ability to move and make some things happen, because he's had to shoulder so much of this offense. He's without Terry McLaurin again tonight. He's down some other players that are a big part of this offense. Now, he does have Bill Krosky-Merritt, and he has been an exceptional rookie. He's as good as any young running back I have seen, and he combined with Jaden Daniels, the #1 rush offense against the last-ranked run defense in the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, let's hear from that man, Jaden Daniels, as we send it down. He caught up a moment ago with Lisa Salters. Lisa.
Jaden, you looked strong last week in your return. Now with another week under your belt, how's that knee feeling?
It feels real good. Ready to go, ready to get this game going.
Any concerns about it tonight with the weather?
Not at all. We out here to play football. It's football weather.
Still no Terry McLaurin, no Noah Brown. What did you learn about playing without them last week that you can draw on tonight?
Man, we got playmakers all over the field. I just got to go out there and trust those guys to make plays. I know they will.
Chicago's defense has struggled against the run, and your 7th-round rookie running back continues to impress. What kind of night are you envisioning for Bill?
Do enough to hopefully get us this win tonight.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Joe.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much. The Bears are already out on the field. The Commanders about to take their spot on this field in front of a packed house. They love their team. They love their quarterback. They love where this franchise is headed. Our national anthem when we come back. You've been watching the Progressive Monday Night Kickoff.
At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your caps or render a salute, as tonight's colors are presented by the United States Navy Ceremonial Honor Guard. And now, please join us as we honor America and celebrate the Navy's 250th birthday with a performance of our national anthem by retired Navy Petty Officer First Class Generald Wilson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early lights what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see, does their star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
The rain has has subsided. It's still windy, and it's a bit chilly here tonight on the 13th of October here at the end of Week 6 in Landover, Maryland. It's the Bears and the Commanders. There's owner Josh Harris ready to go up to his perch. They've been doing big things around here. They've got a new stadium that they're just putting together. They hope to open it in 2030 on the side of the old RFK Stadium. There's Ben Johnson, his team coming off their bye week. 39 years old, first-time head coach, and Dan Quinn, certainly not a first-time head coach in year number 2. Here with Washington, 17-8, including the playoffs in his time commanding the Commanders.
Down in Atlanta, Bijan Robinson already has 130 rushing yards. 81 of them come on this touchdown run, longest run in the NFL this year. Falcons got a stop on defense, have the ball back, Joe, up 14 mid-second quarter.
Football brought to you by SoFi. Get your money right. Progressive, get coverage you can count on with home and auto at progressive.com. And Burger King, you rule. Caleb Williams won the Heisman Trophy in 2022. Jaden Daniels the next year at LSU, and then the first 2 picks in last year's NFL draft. And so far, these 2 quarterbacks that will be forever linked because of where they were picked. Not much of a comparison their rookie years. Caleb went 5-12, Jaden 12-5 into the championship game. And that's where the Commanders take over with their quarterback, Jaden Daniels, who has ideal traits for an NFL quarterback. Arm strength, accuracy, has over 4,000 pass yards. Plenty of speed, too. He reached 1,000 rush yards last week against the Chargers. He's now the first player in NFL history with 4,000 pass yards and 1,000-plus rush yards in his first 20 career games. And then you layer in on top of that the leadership, all the intangibles that he brings. He's got everything that you want in a franchise quarterback.
He sure does. He's got an infectious personality. You can see where he just, people are gravitating towards him.
A huge swing in Atlanta after the Falcons just missed a touchdown on the play before halftime as Drake London stepped out of bounds. Ray Davis just stays inbounds. Bills take the ball out of the locker room, score, trail by 7 in Atlanta. Joe?
Made the stop. Ja'Cory Bill Krosky Merritt from Montgomery, Alabama. There's his 2023 in New Mexico, and then ruled ineligible by the NCAA after 1 game at Arizona. 7th-round pick, but because of how good he looked during camp, they traded Brian Robinson to the 49ers. Little did they know the injury was upcoming with Austin Eckler, who tore his Achilles week 2 at Green Bay. Stay tuned for the All-State halftime. SVP Ryan Clark, Jason Kelsey. First half takeaways from our game. Highlights from the Bills and the Falcons. That's going on in Atlanta. Boomer's fastest minute. That's all we can get that man is a minute. A doubleheader, so that's what he gets.
Make the stop.
And so another timeout taken by Chicago, which stops the clock with a minute and 14 remaining. And welcome back into the broadcast booth. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters, Laura Rutledge down on the field. And it's been a good first half as the Commanders were down 13. Now they're down 6. Are going to line up for field goal try.
Yeah, it has been a good first half. I think if you're Chicago and you came into this game and you said in the first half we'd have 2 takeaways and we would hold the Commanders to about 3.5 yards rushing, you would feel really good about that. And yet Washington, who has not played their best football, they got a chance here to make it a three-point game going in at halftime if their defense makes a stop.
And he just had to get it off. And he got it off, hit a line drive end over end, and it went straight out of bounds. Perfect punt of 54 yards. Let's talk about the Bears' run game.
Yeah, they're averaging over 6 yards per rush in this first half, and just an excellent job up front. They've gotten some good movement. They've mixed in the different plays. Here's Caleb on the touchdown. He gets the edge. But just a lot of creativity is what you would expect out of Ben Johnson. But time well spent during that bye week trying to create some ways in which they could get these running backs going a little bit more than what they'd been able to through the first 4 games.
And that'll do it. Talk about the creativity of Ben Johnson in this offense for Chicago. They've had 6 different ball carriers, and Caleb Williams has found 6 different receivers in this first half, and they've got a 6-point lead. Washington will receive the second half kickoff as they will be trailing by 6. Before we take a break, we'll send it down to Lisa Salters with Dan Quinn.
Dan, 2 turnovers, a missed field goal. Just what's going to be your message to the guys in the locker room?
Yeah, that's the story of the game, Lisa, no doubt about it. So we knew going in, this was something that Chicago was excellent at in terms of takeaways. So we've got to create our momentum, all right, take care of the ball better and see if we can knock a few out on the defensive side.
Your defense seems to have settled in. Just what do you like about the way they're playing now, especially that last stand?
Yeah, especially on the 3rd downs, taking our shot and being aggressive. There's so much to play. And so inside the first, little bit offensively for us, a little off. Now let's hit our stride and go get it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Joe?
All right, Lisa, thank you. It's a 13-7 ball game at the half. Again, the Commanders get the ball to start the second half. And for you, the All-State halftime is coming your way next. Tonight's first half highlights are presented by Target. Welcome to Monday Night Football. End zone picked off. Intercepted by Brisker. Caleb takes it, gets a block from Swift, is in for the touchdown. Moore, spinning try. Touchdown is the call. Get everything you need to win game day at Target as we get set for the second half in a 6-point game. The Commanders, who trail here at home, will get the ball to start this second half. And who would have thought, as we welcome you into the booth, that so far through a half of play, it would be the Bears that have outrushed the Washington Commanders. You would have thought coming in it would be the other way around.
Yeah, you would, and I think Ben Johnson is probably a little frustrated with the fact that the score is so close, considering he's gotten a really great performance out of his defense. On the other hand, Dan Quinn, he's probably thinking, gosh, we turned the ball over a couple times and missed a field goal, and yet it's a 1-possession game, and he's feeling really good. So, that's football. Heck, this may come down to a Hail Mary, Joe. I mean,
no way. There's no way. We haven't even really talked about that somehow already. Here's Luke McCaffrey on the return. Good return, knocked down at the 40. We will go down to the field. A moments ago, or Rutledge caught up with Ben Johnson.
Thanks, Joe. Ben, 85 rushing yards in the first half. How would you assess your offense so far?
They're playing hard. They're playing physical. So we got to keep that going here in the second half.
The defense has had some takeaways that led to points on the board. We'll see them right now. What's most important for them?
They got to continue what they're doing. This is an explosive offense we're going against. We know what they're capable of. So we got to keep shutting them down like we're doing. A couple more turnovers would be nice as well.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Joe.
Been very serious coming out for this second half, and why not? His team's coming off their bye. They're looking for their 3rd straight win. They call it on Dominique Robinson, and we go down to Laura.
Well, as you said, Joe, tonight's a homecoming for Caleb Williams. His football career began at Gonzaga College High School in Washington, D.C. His number 18 is the only football number to be retired in over 100 years of football. Really, really special. His coach tonight is from high school, is here tonight, Randy Trivers. And he said it's like watching your kid grow up. You still recognize his walk, the look in his eyes, and his smile. But things are definitely different now.
He watches Caleb Williams out to his right, fire in the direction of Cole Kmet, incomplete. And there is Randy watching young Caleb Williams as his Bears have their worst starting field position of the night, leading now by just 3.
I can't imagine how good that must feel, to have coached someone at that age and then see them go on like Caleb Williams has and do what he's done. Don't call it quite that close unless they're given a warning, and maybe they had warned him at some point already.
In Atlanta, the Falcons put the finishing touches on Buffalo. D'Angelo Malone with the pick. And that means back-to-back losses for Buffalo, which means the New England Patriots are in first place in the AFC East in the middle of October. Who saw that coming? Big win for Atlanta. Joe?
Next week, we'll bring you 2 games again on Monday Night Football. Early, it's Tampa Bay and Detroit at 7 o'clock Eastern on ABC and ESPN. And then at 10 o'clock, Houston and Seattle on ESPN. Both games available on the all-new ESPN app. Talked about Baker Mayfield earlier in the ballgame. 12 touchdowns, 1 interception for the season. And at one point yesterday, he and they were without their top 4 receivers. And here's the injury week 2 against the Packers. And the sprained left knee was the result. Wearing a brace on that knee. We talked about that in the first quarter.
2 seconds to go. They're going to need a miracle now. Daniels, he's just going to have to let one fly. Heads towards the end zone.
Just more and more good things happen for the Commanders after that Week 8 matchup between these two sides. Tyreek Stevenson on the left. We'll get into that in a second. Jaden Daniels, who threw that 52-yard Hail Mary that was tipped and caught by Noah Brown, gave the Commanders the win. It started a 10-game losing streak for the Bears. Zacchaeus, you could see him yelling at himself after that drop over on the sideline. A couple of mistakes on top of many mistakes tonight for the Chicago Bears.
No doubt. And I mean, a lot of them for the Chicago Bears. And they just haven't been able to capitalize. And that was not obviously a good possession. But Olamide Zacchaeus, I mean, like I said, it was the perfect call against a great defense. And they're just not able to execute it. So now it comes down to this defense and whether or not they can make another stop or at least even hold them to 3 points and leave some time for their offense to see what they can do.
They're first. And we'll get a little look ahead and send it to Scott Van Pelt. Scott.
Joe, thanks very much. Coming up on the Nationwide postgame after the game, we'll visit with one of the stars of the game inside the winning locker room for the second week in a row. That is very much in doubt at this point. We'll also show you Atlanta's big win over Buffalo. Joe, Troy, back to you.
Snap a bit high. Kick is good. And the Bears win. Jake Moody, a hero tonight. The Bears will move to 3-2. The Commanders fall to 3-3. And Moody, in his first night on the active roster for the Bears, kicks 4 field goals in a 1-point win. Here's the fumble that gave Chicago the opportunity as Jaden Daniels could not secure the snap, that wet ball. And now the snap on the field goal try a bit high. The good place by Torrey Taylor, and Jake Moody knocks it through from 38 yards out.
Well, whoever didn't win this game was going to walk off this field thinking of all the opportunities that they left out here and failed to make in order to pull off the win. Chicago, they were able to get the takeaway at the end after the miscue with Jaden Daniels in the snap, and to their credit, they were able to run it down here and put it in position for Jake Moody, and he nailed it.
3 wins in a row for Ben Johnson, and the Bears scored off all 3 Commanders turnovers tonight, put up 13 points. Let's send it down to Laura Rutledge with Caleb Williams.
All right, thank you so much, Joe. Caleb, you just were able to embrace Jake Moody. What can you say about what you thought when that kick was good?
Yeah, I really didn't know who he was when he first joined the team. And then I saw him kick a 65-yarder in practice, and for what he was able to do coming here I know he's had some tough times recently, but been able to come in here, rainy, windy, all of this, and come through for us. Proud of him, happy for him, and happy for us as a team.
And you were able to set up that opportunity for him thanks to your defense, giving the ball back to you again. What can you say about their performance tonight?
Yeah, they played a hell of a game. That's a great offense over there. Obviously, I know the offensive coordinator, head coach, and obviously the quarterback, and they got explosive players and things like that. So for them to be able to hold up and, do their part, it was only right for us to be able to, have that moment to do ours.
I know there were some mistakes tonight, right? But what can you say about the way that you guys were able to fight back and get this big win? Now 3 straight wins.
That's who we are. We fight. That's what Coach said. We went 0-2 the first 2 games. We tied it back up, went 2-2, and now we're 3-2 because of our fight, because of our, how we face adversity and how we come through and come together.
Right, congratulations, Caleb.
Thank you.
Let's go to Lisa Salters with Jake Moody.
Thank you, Laura. Jake, the most made field goals in a Bears debut. Just what is this night feeling like to you after the year you've had?
I mean, it feels amazing. To get, all that support after the game from all my teammates. I got here not too long ago, but for everybody to embrace me and, take me in as one of their own, it's an amazing feeling.
What were you saying to yourself after things kind of went sideways in San Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have a fresh start, and I always believed in myself, believed in my teammates. And, shout out to Scott and Torrey. They made that operation really easy on me. And same with the O-line up front, protecting great on that last one. That you can't draw it up any better.
You missed an earlier one, so what were you saying to yourself as you lined up the game winner?
I mean, I like to say you're only as good as your next kick, so you can't dwell on the past. You got to move on and focus on the next kick.
This one has to feel pretty good, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations to you. Joe.
All right, Lisa. Jake Moody was cut by San Francisco on September 9th. He was signed to the practice squad of the Bears on September 12th. And now here he is tonight, kicking 4 field goals and the game winner from 38 yards out. 25-24, the final. Bears win it. They're now 3-2. Commanders 3-3. Monday night postgame presented by Nationwide with SVP starts now.
Joe, thanks. Coming up over on ESPN, we will visit with one of the stars of the game. Go all access inside that winning Chicago Bear locker room. Visit with Joe and Troy as well on what they saw this evening. Next on ABC, it is your late local news. I'm headed over to ESPN right now. I invite you to join me for all of the post-game coverage.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.